Well, hi guys, I'm Celestial Shadows, and welcome back to Princess Evangile. I just finished chapter 23, and now we're on chapter 24. I had wanted to visit her family right away, but Ayaka-san shook her head. It's just... I really am scared. She said she had to prepare herself mentally. Of course, I didn't want to force her, so we just headed back to school. We spent the rest of the day together after that. We broke our promise about it being just the one time, and spent that night together too. Ayaka-san looks so anxious. At a time like this, I knew I needed to support her. The next day, January 3rd, she wasn't looking well. I wanted to spend our last day together, but circumstances prevented it. It was because classes were starting on the 4th, and the dorms would be filling gradually with people again. Then, classes would start. We wouldn't be able to spend every waking moment together like we did before. Today was the 7th, a Saturday. Ayaka-san looked pretty gloomy once more. Sorry, I should probably go. I'm not feeling very well. She left the society meeting early to head back to her room. The rest of us remained behind, concerned. It's been so long, we say. Ayaka-sama has seemed rather down since the 3rd term started. Yeah. Do you know anything about it? I knew the reason for it, but I want to be right to just tell everyone. So I just shook my head vaguely. Did you have a fight? It's nothing like that. It's curious to see the ever-cheerful Ayaka-sama acting that way. Even Panterbell is worried. Do you know anything, Ritsuko? I'm not sure either. She seemed so happy during New Year's. Oh, she did have a fight with Mother, but I don't think that's the cause. Utsuko turned to look at me. Utsuko-chan must have realized that, given the circumstances, the cause had to be me. But I really am worried. I've never seen Ayaka-sama act that way. You need to do something, Masaya. You're her boyfriend after all. Alright, I will. Naturally, I'm worried about Ayaka-sama, but the election is approaching too. She was right. 40 days from now, we'd be holding the grand vote to determine the fate of the school. Wait, what? 40 days. I don't know in the back of my mind how that is. Like 30 years. The choice for student council president would be between Rise-san and Ritsuko-chan, and the decision would determine what direction the school would go in future years.
人でも欠けると選挙運動も厳しいものになるでしょう。
The White Lily Society has so few members. Losing even one will have a severe effect on your campaign.
まあね。
That's true.
彩香様も昔と比べると人が違ったように真面目になったことだし。
And Ayaka-sama has become significantly more earnest than she used to be.
もしかして卒業が寂しいのでしょうか。
Do you think she feels sad about graduating?
かもしれない。
She may. Natsuko's smile became sad as she agreed.
ご存知でしょうか。姉は以前は2年生まではむしろこんなところ早く卒業したいって言っていたんです。
Did you know? Before now? Up until last year? She kept talking about how she couldn't wait to graduate. Yeah, I heard about that.
今はきっと正反対の心境のはずです。マサヤ様と同い年だとしたら姉もきっと喜んだと思うのですが。
But now? I'm sure she feels the exact opposite. I'm sure she wishes she could have been in the same grade as you. When's the graduation?
3月の17日です。
March 17th. The third term was short. We had only 2 months left. March 17th. When that day came, Ayaka-san would leave this place. I've been scenes without Ayaka-san. I knew that day would come, and yet I had never really imagined it. You still haven't told Ritsuko-chan, have you? No. We sat side by side on the bed. Even though winter vacation was over, Ayaka-san was still sneaking into my room at night.
だって怖いじゃない。
I'm just scared. Scared? Of what?
私は律子のことを妹として愛おしく思っているわ。私なりに大切にしてきたつもりもある。
I love Ritsuko as a sister. I've tried to be as good to her as I can. I understand that, and Ritsuko-chan feels the same way.
なのに
But Ayaka-san shook her head slightly.
もしかしたら全くの赤の他人かもしれないなんてあんまりだわ。
It's possible that we could be completely unrelated. I can't stand the idea. That's true, you could be adopted. What? How could that be?
だってそうじゃない。考えてもみて。あのお墓の下に収まっている佐伯富江さん。
You know, think about it. Seiki Tomi-san, the person buried in that grave.
彼女がお父さんの前妻ということは事実のはずだわ。お母様もそれはそう言っていて嘘をつくはずもない。
I'm sure she was my father's first wife. That's what Mother says. And I don't know why she'd lie about it. Right.
夫婦の間でできた子供ではないとするなら私は一体どこから来たのよ。
If I'm not really their child born in wedlock, then whose child am I?
橋の下なんてことは私も思わない。でも親戚の子供っていう線なら大いにありそうだわ。
I doubt it's just some stranger, but there's a chance I could be the child of some relative.
それにそうであれば納得がいくじゃない。
And if that's the case, it makes perfect sense. What do you mean?
私と律子があまり似ていないことよ。
The fact that Ritsuko and I don't look alike. I told you before, siblings don't always look alike. Have you ever heard of a changeling?
何それ。
What's that? It's a child who doesn't resemble their parents. It happens often enough that there's a word for it. And if parents and children don't always look alike, then the chance for siblings is...
でもさ、マサヤ君、私がお母さんが他界した その半年後に生まれて。
But, Sai-kun, I was born half a year after my mom died.
その時点ではもうお父さんとお母様は結婚している。お父さんが他の女に産ませたとしてお母様が納得できると思う？
By that point, Dad and Mother were already married. Do you really think Mother would let Dad have a child by some strange woman?
キリスト教的な定説を抜きにしても普通じゃとても耐えられないわ。新婚早々不倫の子供だなんて。
Even setting aside the tenets of Christianity, it's normally unbearable to have an illegitimate child as a newlywed.
私にしてもお父さんがそこまで極悪人だとは思いたくない。であれば
And I don't want to believe my dad's such a lecher either, which means
私はやっぱりよそからやってきた子供だとしか思えない。
I must have entered the picture some other way. But there was one other possibility. I wasn't sure if it really had slipped her mind, or if she was just hesitant to say it. Ayaka-san. I took her hand. You won't find the answer sitting here worrying about it. Right. You have to ask your dad about it. Don't worry. I'm here with you. Masaya-kun. For the rest of your life. Her eyes opened in mild surprise. A slight blush spread through her cheeks. We'll be together all our lives, right? Right. Tears began to roll down her cheeks. It felt a little cliche, but there was no need to be shy now. I kissed her tears. Then I kissed the tears from her eyes, and then her lips. Her lips were just a little salty.
分かった。じゃあ明日行こうと思うんだけどいいかな？
Okay. I think I'll go tomorrow then. Is that okay? Of course.
閉店後お店の方に行きましょう。お店は日曜日もやっているから。
Let's go to the restaurant right after it closes. They're even open on Sundays. Right.
好き。大好き。
I love you. Love you. We exchanged kisses for a while, and Ayaka-san stood up.
それじゃあまた明日ね。ごきげんよう。
See you tomorrow. Salutations. Her expression was cheerier as she departed. I felt a sense of relief too. The next day, we left school on the last bus out. The guardian didn't even try to stop us. They must have given up by now. Last order was at 11 o'clock, and the restaurant closed 30 minutes later. Until then, we just waited outside in the cold. You can go now. Yes, sir. Good work today. Her father let the rest of the staff leave, then came to our table.
やれやれ。今日も無事に終わったよ。僕はビールをやるけど、二人も何か飲むかい？
Goodness. Today was a rough run. Going to have a beer. Would the two of you like anything?
私は何も。
I'm fine. Me too.
そっか。
I see. I went over to the bar, then returned with glass in hand.
それで話って？早くも結婚話かな。
So, what did you need to talk to me about? Planning the wedding already? He sat down facing us and drained about half the glass in one go.
お母さんの命日の件。
It's about the date of my mother's death. Her father quavered.
それが何月何日かを教えてほしいわけじゃないの。もう知っているから。
You don't have to tell me when it was. I already know.
そうなのかい？
Do you?
ええ、 お墓参りに行ったから。
Yes, we went to her grave.
そうか。
I see. And we finally see her dad. Her father set the glass down quietly. Still a lot bigger compared to us. Oh well. When he first sat down, he was smiling cheerfully, but now his mouth was drawn into a tight line.
それでどういうことなのかと思って。私の言っていることわかるわよね。
I want to know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying, right?
わかる。
Yes.
じゃあどういうこと？ちゃんと教えてほしいの。
Then, what is it? Please, just tell me.
私これまでお母さんの命日も知らなかった。薄情な娘よね。
I never knew the date of my mother's death until now. I'm a heartless daughter.
そういうわけじゃないよ。僕が伏せていたからね。美佐子が言うはずもないし。
That's not true. I kept it from you. And I don't imagine Misako told you either. Misako? Probably the headmistress.
そうだったの？
Really?
まあ、知られてはまずい事情があった。とはいえ、お墓の命をごまかすわけにはいかないし。
Yeah. There's a reason I didn't want you to know. But we couldn't fake the date on the gravestone.
それで、いずれはあやちゃんも知ることになるだろうとは思っていた。そして、その時は。
So, I figured you'd find out about it someday. And when that happened,
お父さんからきちんと説明しよう。そう心に決めていたんだ。
I promised myself I'd tell you everything.
じゃあ説明して。
Then, explain it. He nodded. Then he turned his eyes to the window, gazing out into the distance.
そうだな。一体どこから説明したらいいものか。
Let's see. Where should I begin?
まず、命日を知ってあやちゃんも想像した通り、あやちゃんの本当のお母さんは富江ではない。
First, as you probably imagined when you saw the date of her death, Tomi-san isn't really your mother.
では誰かというと、その
Your real mother is, well, alive? Or that'd be a surprise. Even though he made up his mind, he was still hesitating as he spoke.
あやちゃんの本当のお母さんはね、美佐子なんだ。
Your real mother is Seiko. So the headmistress? What?
嘘でしょ？だってそんな。
So they did have an affair. Well, not them. Him and the headmistress. Before her mother died. Oh. Yeah, you're kidding! You're kidding, right? But that can't be. Ayaka-san's shoulders began to shake.
本当のことだよ。僕が間違えるはずがない。父親は僕で、母親は僕の妻なのだから。
It's true. I'm sure I'm not mistaken. I'm your father, and my wife is your mother. And since she's the result of an affair, I guess that's why the headmistress treats her that way. That's still kind of mean, though.
あやちゃんは初めての子供だったんだよ。
Aya-chan, you are our first daughter.
父さんと美佐子との間に生まれたね。
Masako's in mine. And halfway point.